So it's been a long time since I've done a video. It's literally been months at this point. Honestly, I had no intentions of waiting this long at all before doing another video. But, you know, I kind of hit the 2-year mark of getting back into it, and I kind of wanted to take a break and kind of, you know, analyze things and see what people like, see what people didn't like, what needed to be changed, and on top of that, I was in the middle of basically filming a whole nother new show and talking about what we wanted to do with DOA with some of the other people that I had been filming with. And basically, long story short, a lot of life things happened, and you know, well, whatever. Well, we'll touch in on that, and I'm gonna somewhat apologize up front on this video just because that this might get long-winded. Sorry. Okay, so let's start off by talking, let's talk Heath Williams, I guess. The thing I found out with him is that it's kind of interesting because with those videos, it seems like when they hit really well, and then when they don't, like nobody watches them. Or if they click on them and start, they're like within, you know, a minute or so, they're gone. And so I don't know that you're going to see a whole lot more of Heath Williams. You might every once in a while if I just have something pop in there that I feel's, you know, funny enough just to go ahead and do, or if I need something to fill, you might see him. But probably won't see a whole lot of him. Let's move on to Cletus as well while we're on the character topic or whatever. Cletus, it's a lot more stable. It seems like it's one of the more well-liked things, but once again, I don't know the... yeah, I think you might see him every once in a while, but to what extent, I'm not really sure. But, you know, I'm not totally against dumping him altogether. People seem to like him, so, for the most part. Although, one thing that I did find, this was interesting, is that out of anything Cletus, the one thing that people didn't like, which was weird, is whenever we did duct tape, like we have 2 videos that we did duct tape. We did like a Christmas episode and like a how-to video with him, and then we, like the last one or 2 of them ago, I don't remember exactly, was specifically duct tape. And like for some reason those were like, the people didn't like pay attention to those at all. They just totally tuned out like on those, like right off the bat. So I don't know, I just found that ironic because it's like, you know, it seems like, you know, chocolate and peanut butter, redneck and duct tape, but oh well, whatever. I don't know, let's talk about the video game stuff because I found this interesting. This is one of the things that I learned when I started looking back on some of the older videos, is that we've really only done, or I've really only done, however you want to look at, 2 video game videos, and they were both basically consisted of me and my buddy Zach, longtime friend, sitting on a couch dialing up these old hotline numbers just to see if any of them worked or anything. And for some reason, people really liked it. I don't know why. I've heard a majority of positive comments on that, almost more than any other video that I've done. And I've had a lot of people kind of comment or ask, you know, hey, you should do more about video games, which is good, because I happen to, that's like one of my main forms of entertainment. I happen to own a lot of stuff. I got a whole room, so, you know, there's plenty to delve into when it comes to that. So, you know, you're probably start doing more video game stuff. And while we're on the topic of that, the newer show that, well, we'll combine this in with the DOA thing, but the group of people that I was doing DOA with, JP, Christina, Joey, Jeff, we kind of came up with this new series that was about video game players, but just due to life situations and the way things have gone, we pretty much have like 4 episodes almost completely filmed, but there's little bits and pieces that kind of need to be put together, really bring it together. I don't know that you're ever going to see this, because getting everybody together has just been a real pain. And it's not anybody's fault or anything like that. I'm not trying to, you know, throw anybody under the bus or make anybody look bad or anything like that, because it's all kind of our fault at the end of the day. But just getting everybody's schedules lined up, because it's like everybody works a full-time job, and it's not like, you know, doing videos for them is like a full-time gig or anything like that. But between that and, you know, Christina's still, she's wrapping up school and whatnot, there's just really not a whole lot of time where our schedules just cross the right way to make things happen. And because of that, you know, like I said, it's a giant toss-up. This new show, you guys might not ever see. I might just for the fun of it, edit it just kind of raw and maybe just put in some black screens and whatever, you know, with some text just to explain, here's the missing clip. Just so you guys can see it, you know, but it's not really top of the priority list at this point. But because of that, also with DOA, and I, you know, hate to leave people hanging and all that, but, you know, it's obviously at the end of our first run there, it said come back next spring, and, you know, that was our plan. Next spring we're going to start putting up new episodes and all that. Obviously that didn't happen, so I don't know. Who knows? These shows might be back, they might not. Who knows? Well, we'll just have to wait and find out. But with that being said, I am kind of reformulating because people like the video games so much into trying to do something that's a little bit more video game based. So we'll see what happens, because the initial show that we worked on, you might end up seeing turn out is kind of more of a shortenized, smaller crew, maybe just me on certain episodes or whatever, just a totally different show. So, hey, whatever. Alright, now we're going to get into something, I don't know, kind of interesting. The one thing that people really paid attention to and have been watching, and depending on what review you've seen and whatnot, people seem to dig those, and they watch them. People will stop in the middle of watching them, rewind them, and watch sections again, is what I found out. And the funny part about it is that it's like when I was doing all but a couple of the reviews, I wasn't doing them because like I personally wanted to. It was somebody asked me. They were like, hey, could you do a review on this? And I was like, okay. You know, or hey, I'd really like commentary on, I think it'd be funny to hear you talk about this. That, like, for example, the whole Teen Mom thing, I had no desire to watch that show whatsoever. The only reason I did the whole run for that is because I was asked. It was that simple. So, you know, and it's like that got redundant and all that. So I will say this, we're not doing that ever again, okay? If somebody comes up and they're like, hey, MTV's got this new show about, you know, San Francisco or something stupid, you know, no, we're not doing that this time. That Teen Mom, dude, that was more than enough. And honestly, I'm surprised to myself that I even did it. So, but like the tart reviews, completely by request. Really, about the only couple of reviews that weren't by request were the P.F. Chang meals. Just because I was so disappointed, I just wanted to talk about what a load of crap those were. And then the Slim Teas, because I needed something to fill in, and I was so dumbfounded by the product, which so many people have, that's the most watched video, and I don't know why, but, and people love to like hate on me, and they're like, you know, who's this fat ass talking about Slim Teas and all that. So whatever. Bottom line is, people like the reviews, so you're probably going to start seeing quite a few more reviews, and not just tarts or stuff like that. You know, like other stuff. You're probably going to see like a lot more like video game reviews, but that'll be totally separate from the other video game thing I was talking about earlier. So, you know, with that being said, moving forward, hopefully I'm planning on getting a few upgrades. That way the videos don't look as grainy and crappy, and just more well-rounded. I'm sorry this video wasn't really all that funny, but come back for the next one. It's probably going to be a review. And we'll go from there. And hey,